Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm out here with my VEPR 12 gauge shotgun. Now I'm not doing a review on the shotgun this afternoon. We'll get to that here in a future video. I'm still evaluating the shotgun. You know, I like to shoot these weapons quite a few rounds before I actually pass judgment on them. So far the thing's working great. But what I want to talk to you about is magazines for the VEPR 12. Now this is a 5-round magazine. This is the 5-round magazine that the VEPR 12 ships with. And in its own right, it's a good magazine, works well, but it's only 5 rounds. Now I am shooting 8-shot, so this is a dove load, and that's what the VEPR 12 is cycling. Next up I have a Russian 8-round magazine. This is a Russian manufactured shotgun magazine for the VEPR 12. These things are not cheap, and they're as scarce as hen's teeth. These things are like $100 if you can find them. I picked these up from Atlantic Firearms. 8 rounds makes this weapon much more palatable for me. Not too bad. 8 rounds, it reloads quickly, and again, 100% reliability with that 8-shot. Next is the new SGM 12-round magazine for the VEPR 12. This is a US-produced polymer magazine by SGM Tactical. Put this in the shotgun, and now I have 12 rounds. It's really palatable. That is something else, and that's what we're going to take a look at this afternoon. Let's take a closer look at this new SGM Tactical 12 gauge magazine. This 12-shot magazine is made out of polymer, just like most SGM Tactical magazines are. Now this is pretty much the same magazine that they used for the Saiga 12 gauge. They've just reconfigured it so it will work with the locking mechanism of the VEPR 12 gauge shotgun. You'll notice the profile, this is the Russian 8-rounder. You'll notice the profile is almost identical. There are a couple of little differences between the Russian magazine and the US-made SGM magazine. You'll notice that the Russian magazine, for example, has metal feed lips back here. It's like a piece of sheet metal that's folded around that gives some support to the feed lips. It's polymer as well. On the SGM, you'll notice it's just all polymer. So far I've had no problems with the polymer feed lips. There's not a whole lot of magazine spring pressure on these lips. The follower is really kind of gentle. It's not like a super stiff spring in there, so it's probably not applying a whole lot of pressure to those feed lips, and they're real beefy. You can probably see just how thick those lips are. It's 100% made in the USA. Over here on the side of the magazine, you can see it says made in USA. And then on the other side has a good old American flag. The magazine is just a little bit longer than the 8-rounder. You can see there's only about maybe 1.5 inch, 2-inch difference between them. And they lock in just the same. This is the SGM Tactical magazine here. So overall, the quality of the magazine appears to be pretty solid. Now these things are going to come to market right around $50 or $60 for the 12-round magazine. I believe SGM is also going to offer the 10-round magazine. These aren't quite on the street just yet. This is a first production run that SGM was kind enough to send to me early on, but they will be available soon. I know some sites are showing them, taking some orders for them already, I believe, and the MSRP is between, again, $50 and $60 for the magazine. That beats the 8-round Russian magazine, which, as I mentioned earlier, is coming to market at least at $100. That's what Atlantic Firearms is selling them for. I've found other websites out there selling them for much more than $98. 12 rounds of 12 gauge is a lot of ammunition. Now these magazines are big enough that they're almost too big to be used in a vest, but I think you could probably still make a chest rig or something for these magazines and carry, 3 of them with the shotgun if you're so inclined. I'm waiting for some company, hint, hint, UW Gear, to possibly make a bandolier for these or something like that. But the magazines are pretty long and they stick out of the shotgun quite a ways, but I still think the shotgun's pretty practical. I mean, most of that length is down below. It's not sticking out the side like a big drum or something like that. It's very narrow, and it balances well with the shotgun. The shotgun still balances at about the tipping point. It doesn't really change the weight of the balance of the shotgun much at all. But you know what? Being able to fire 12 rounds before you have to reload is really pretty impressive. Just drop that magazine, grab a fresh one, stick it in, Reload. Now there is a button back here, I'm just not using it. I'm used to doing things the old-fashioned way. Ah, look at that. These 8 shots, that's really the first malfunction I've had with these 8 shots so far. I brought a couple hundred rounds out here. It's just barely cycling. The shotgun, I've also noticed a few times it hasn't quite locked the bolt open. But that's a light dove load, which is really surprising this thing works with. I'm really happy I can shoot such light loads in the shotgun. But anyway, that 12-round magazine works pretty well. I love the way it looks in the shotgun. It doesn't look too silly. It looks, you know, I don't know. I think it's cool. Maybe you don't like the length of it, but I do. I think that's pretty fun. It's a good shotgun magazine. Loading the SGM 12-gauge 12-round magazine is pretty simple. You'll want to make sure that when you put the shotgun shell in, you put it forward here and then push it back under the feed lips and push with your thumb to make sure you fully seat the rim all the way to the rear of the magazine. Again, just push down right about there, push back until it seats, let it pop up. It doesn't require a whole lot of thumb pressure to do this. And if you do that, it'll work reliably. Where you'll run into problems is if you do not push it all the way back. If you let it sit like that, it'll cause the next round to load to be very difficult because it's notched inside there to guide these rims down into the magazine. So you want to make sure you seat it all the way to the rear to make sure you engage those slots. Don't put them in backwards like that. I've lost count here, but you cannot put more than 12 rounds into it. It'll let you know when it's full. Seems like they load forever. It's a big magazine. Well, guys, it's time for some final thoughts on the SGM Tactical 12-round magazine for the VEPR 12 shotgun. Overall, I'm impressed with the quality of the magazine. It's a high-quality polymer magazine that comes to market right around 50 or 60 bucks. Now, these, again, are not available just yet, but they should be hitting the streets here very soon. I think the quality is high quality, and I also think that it's a good value considering the next option out there is the 8-round magazine from Russia at the price of $100 a copy. 60 bucks doesn't seem so bad. They work reliably, looks good in the shotgun. And if you have any questions about this magazine, you can always ask those questions on our Facebook page. You can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/military arms. Thanks for watching, everybody.